Once upon a time, Vicki was trapped by the curse of her thoughts. It had her believing she was powerless, imperfect, and weak. Then one day, the curse started to lessen, and Vicki could see a little clearer. As each day passed, her thoughts improved until she broke free. She then began creating magic in her life. Now, Vicki is getting ready to marry her Prince Charming. This is her manifesting success story. Hello and welcome to this episode. I am your host, Cassie Parks. It is May 18th, 2020, and I am here with Vicki Pace for her 18th interview in her Years of Growth series. Welcome, Vicki.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I am so excited. We were catching up before and it was like, we better just hit record because everything's so good.
And I felt like that's probably how you and Jenny are. You just like go on and on and on, and you're like, oh yeah, we're supposed to be recording. Let's just do this.
That is what happens. And then we literally have 32 minutes left and we're like, we better pick a topic because we both have calls at the top of the hour.
I know. And you and I just kept talking about all the great things that are happening for me. And I was like, we should just get this on camera because it's time.
Yes. I love it. All right. So tell us what's awesome.
I don't think I've been on the call or on an interview since the big news. I got a dog. His name is Boomer. Yeah.
Boomer.
We adopted him from a humane society nearby from Weld County, and he's a 70-pound pit bull, and he's the blue-gray that we wanted, and he even has some brindling color on the top of his head. And he's lovely. He loves scratches and balls and walks on the beach. And he loves running, and he's just a lovely, I just couldn't have asked for anything better. He's amazing. I'm so excited.
Oh, yay.
And my garden is coming up beautifully, and I'm learning so much about that. And I just got a big box of wine.
Yay.
So many good things. And I learned how I've been experimenting with baking, and I got a KitchenAid and an Instant Pot and all the things that I've been talking about wanting for so long.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh, so much to catch up on. Where'd you get the KitchenAid? I have to know.
I ended up just getting it from Costco because Jeff offered to pitch in for it. And it was the largest size you can get that's not commercial. So I was like, yeah, I think that's it. This is it. And so I ended up getting a bigger one, a brand new one, not used. And I got it for $50 cheaper than I would have, actually half the price if you compare to Amazon or something. So
yay, that's awesome. And I asked Vicki about it because it was something that we coached on, which was I have this money and this is what I want, and do I spend it now? And we said wait for inspiration. Yeah. And so then did Jeff just were you oh, I'm going to get this, and he offered, or now I want to know what happened?
I was looking at Facebook Marketplace, and someone was selling actually the exact same one for basically the same price, maybe 20, I don't remember. And I thought, oh, that's great. It's $200 cheaper than Amazon because it's the large size. And I messaged her about it, and Jeff saw me messaging, and then we were talking about that. And he was like, if you're going to get that one, I saw it at Costco for the same price. Let's just buy a brand new one, and I will pitch in $50 towards it. And I was like, okay, done. That's it. It just felt like the roller coaster started and we were rolling. And I was like, okay, so that's what is meant to happen. Yeah.
Yay. That's awesome. So even better than you were planning on.
Yes. And a bunch of other kitchen things that I wanted that were sort of on my list that I wanted to use that money for. I found a place that sells yeast by pound bags. So I took Jeff there because it's a restaurant food supply store, and he loves food stuff and restaurant things. So we were just oh, look at that. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. Just looking around. And I found a bunch of the kitchen tools that I wanted for way cheaper than they were on Amazon. So
Yay.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
I know.
I love it. It's all working out better than expected.
I know.
Which is so much fun. And I want to come back to the dog in terms
Mhm.
of that because so awesome. But I would love if you tell the story like he was what you had in mind, what you saw in your
Mhm.
script, right? And so you tell us about sort of that whole circle process.
Yeah, in my scripting and kind of not visualizing it, but in the terms of like LOA visualizations, it was just like I could see it in my mind
Mm-hmm.
that I had this blue pit bull. And there were a couple of other times that not even scripting, just like walking throughout my day, I just could see a blue pit bull walking around here. Um and but we like ages ago, Jeff and I had also talked about getting a white dog and naming it Zero after Nightmare Before Christmas. So that was also somewhere in my mind. Anyway, one weekend we had talked about let's go look at dogs this weekend, and I was just looking through the page and I found this one shelter had like 3 or 4 different pit bulls available. So I was like, let's just go to this one because it's got all of these pit bulls. We can see multiple dogs. And the one I was interested in was this big, chunky, white with black little spots on his face pit bull. His name was Duke. And I thought for sure that was what we wanted, like what was going to fit for us. And then I also saw Boomer was on there and I was like, oh yeah, he's cute. But like, and even though I knew I was like, that's the color I want, I just was like, oh, but I think this Duke dog is going to fit us better. So we saw, I think we saw Boomer first because they were about to take him on his walk, and he was so happy-go-lucky and beautiful, just like a gorgeous coat. And he was so friendly and jolly, and he was easygoing with Jeff, and um, it was so great. And then Duke came in, and I got so excited. And at first, he loved us, and then it just like it didn't fit. It like he could sense it, and I could kind of sense it. I was like, oh, this
Mm-hmm.
is. At first, I was like, this is a bummer. I thought we would really fit him, or he would fit
Mm-hmm.
us. But dogs are so like energetically based. It was like at first he came up and he put his big paws on me, and I thought, oh, it's cute. He's a big fat lap dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just kind of walked away and wasn't interested in coming back to us. And we are like, oh, okay. So I guess this other dog, Boomer. And we went out and played with him with the ball, and we were sold. Like he was amazing with playing with the ball, and he was so gentle. Like Jeff really tested him, and he was so, so gentle and pretty much the right size. I mean, he's smaller than I think Jeff or we originally wanted, but
Mm-hmm.
after working with him, we see that he's the right size for us. Like 70 pounds of muscle is a lot. So
it is. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. And
yay.
And I did out of curiosity, I went and looked and I saw that Duke was adopted. So I was happy.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. He found his
Yeah.
perfect fit. I love that for all you like LOA listening, like you see it. And I know what that's like where you're like, oh, I can see it. Like it's not intentional or it's not like you're trying, like you saw it, but then also like the letting go and just letting it play out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah, the whole situation was very flow, like in the flow, and we put a hold on him. I think we could pay like $50 to think about it for 24 hours, and if you change your mind, it's just considered a donation towards a shelter. So either way, we would have been fine just being like, never mind. But on the way home, we saw PetSmart and we stopped in and got all the things we needed and went and got him the next day.
Yay! Oh, that's awesome. I love it. All right, let's talk about money because you have a fun 2 manifested totals actually.
So I had started this other list, and Cassie and I truly don't know why or when really why I did this, but I started a new list and I even named it New Manifestations, and that total is $13,666.58.
Yay!
Yay! And added with my old manifestation list, which again, I don't know why I started a new one, but added together, it adds up to $66,854.78.
Yay! That is awesome because this new list is is not that old. We don't know how old it is
Mm-mm.
exactly, but it's really
Couple months, yeah.
it's recent, right?
Yeah.
Which we talked about might be why you were inspired. Like, let me see how much faster things are working, right? Or,
Mm-hmm.
it's the story I'm going to
Well,
take
I
away
think
from it.
the big number in this list I'm looking at right now is because one of the shows at the theater got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think I can consider this nannying job as money manifested.
Yes.
So I went in and calculated how much that is. And now, since their next show got canceled, that I also didn't get cast in, I'm going to just calculate the whole summer for it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, which I love. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. And I think we talked a little bit about it in an interview, but I remember talking about on a coaching call, like there was 2 nanny jobs, there was 2 options, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
I remember though, yeah, I think we did talk about this on the last call because she offered to match whatever I was offered from this other doctor family, which also in hindsight is probably good that I didn't end up working for a doctor family because she was definitely an ER doctor. Anyway, yeah, and it's just been great. I'm so grateful that I accepted the job with the 4 kids and they're becoming my family. And the mom is wonderful. She and I are becoming really good friends. And in this environment, she and I are really are. I'm grateful for her because in this environment, she and I are really our social
yeah.
circle. And the fact that we love like hanging out together and we have really great conversations and we think the same and differently on not correct, but when you have a good dialogue with
Yes.
people. I love that, talking to people like that. So yeah, we're a great fit and I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. And I think one of the biggest interesting things for me is like that she was going to work is this job was going to work less around the theater, right? You had to like give them so much. Is this the one where you had to give them so much time? Or did she match that afterwards?
This one, she said she was willing to work with any theater jobs I had. Yeah. And
nice.
Then
and then
even she was like, well, I guess, that show didn't work out anyway. And I was like, it worked out.
Right. Which is so interesting because that was, we got you to a place where like it was your intuition, and I remember this moment on the call where you're like, oh, well, this has always felt like the job. I'm like, why are we having this conversation?
Right. And I was like, yeah, no, I felt like this for like 2 weeks. You're like, okay, what? Why didn't you say that? And I was like, right. I knew it was. So yeah, it's so funny.
But one of the things that was such a like, do I go this way? Do I go that way? And I think they ended up matching each other, but it was the theater, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there is no theater now or this summer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just one of those like proving like, oh yeah, like it didn't like the details didn't matter. It was that gut feeling no matter what, right? Because the details were going to change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just thinking about all those things, and there were a couple auditions that I even went to that I was like, I don't want to go, but I went anyway. Mm-hmm. Those are shows I didn't get cast in, and that ended up being canceled. So I really do just need to trust myself more.
Which you're starting to, right? Yeah.
And even with like the summer camps that were supposed to happen, which are still technically happening, they are moving into virtual. And I consciously was like, I don't want to teach virtually. I just don't want to teach theater virtually. There's a whole list of reasons why I don't feel it's a good fit for me personally. And then I was like, I better get on a call so I can ask Cassie, or talk to Cassie because I don't want to do this. And I said, listen to yourself. You just said you don't want to do this. So don't do it.
Yay.
Yeah. So I emailed her and it's great. And I realized I wanted what I wanted my summer to look like. And it was partially like I was creating it, but it was also sort of unfolding at the same time. So then I realized, oh, the way this is unfolding, this is what I want my summer to look like. And here we are. I have a dog. Yay. And I have a garden and a house and a wonderful boyfriend. And I'm just going to spend the summer training my dog and building a really great relationship with him and learning how to garden and grow and eat my own veggies.
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. And it's extra special for me because I was just writing up like your interview as we're recording this just a couple weeks ago or a week ago came
Mhm.
out about how last summer unfolded and like what did you want because it was looking and so I love this is just such a great example of the up leveling, right? Like
Mhm.
trusting more, like listen to yourself, like and just allowing it to unfold in this very fun, cool way. And being able to say, like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want to teach kids virtually. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't want it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I know because I know there are other teachers that are doing it that
Mhm.
are crushing it and they're doing really great work. And I watch them and I'm like, that's amazing. It's not for me, but it's amazing. Um,
Right?
so, and then like last summer, I feel like I was very specific with the exact things I wanted.
Hmm.
And this summer, I wasn't thinking so much about this is how I want it to feel, but now it feels more like I want it to feel free and easy and not low stress, but like chill, I guess, is
Yeah.
just hanging out in my backyard, training the dog, hanging out with the kids, going to drive-in movies, eating popcorn. So, yeah.
Ah, I love it. That's so fun and so perfect. And so much feels like your future life, right? Just
Mm,
sort of chill and flow, versus like you did get everything you want last summer, but I get what you're saying. Like it was good, but not like chill. It wasn't just like, oh
right.
yeah.
Yeah, and I loved my summer last year, but I do think I don't know if I was manhandling it or what, but like I feel this summer is going to be a lot more free and easy, and I'm excited for that.
Yay. I'm excited for you to experience more of that.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's awesome. Let's see. I want to make sure we talk about how you had savings and you invested it in amazing things and
Mhm.
tell us all about that.
Well, that was a lot of I feel like even why I joined Enchanted Circle was because like it just kept coming up like there's always every 6 months or so I need this makeup type thing or this beauty product or this expensive shampoo and like I'm one of those people who washes her hair once a week so I always buy really nice shampoo.
Yes.
Um so anyway, that was a reason I joined with you and I feel like it took me a long time to kind of no, it didn't take a long time. It doesn't feel like it took a long time, but looking back, I guess it's been that's funny you talk about the slow, quick way. Like looking back right now,
Hmm.
doesn't feel like it's been that long, but I guess if you looked at a calendar, one could say it was a long time. But I've been saving every paycheck. Like I broke it down monthly and then broke it down per paycheck. And so I've been saving every single paycheck. And then I went in and figured out the percentage of each like category. I have like a makeup, a clothes, a travel, a car, something else. And I figured out the percentages of all of them. And I went in and just figured out how much it is. And I realized I had way more than enough to invest in the like ingredients I wanted for home making my own body butter.
Ah,
Um, and they're actually here. And I was just thinking, oh, I want to make those today with my new KitchenAid, which is going to be so much easier than it's been in the
oh my
past.
gosh, yes.
I know.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, it just felt amazing. Like nothing I'd ever felt before. I mean, I have felt things like that before, but never
Hmm.
like actually happening in my life. I'm good with money. I'm saving money and I have money for the things that I need and the things that I want. I even was like just scrolling through Amazon makeup areas and was like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, I've never had like a shimmer contour kit. I'm getting this. And I ended up
Yay.
getting it and they gave me a coupon that was like, if you leave a review, we'll give you a $15 Amazon gift card. I was like, yeah, it paid for itself.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yes. Oh, way more than enough. I love it.
Yeah. And even another silly, fun manifesting story. Jeff and I signed up for a free month of CBS to watch Star Trek. Like that was a new show we wanted to watch together. And I was up for like putting in a new email address to get another free month. And my sister texted me and said she would give me her CBS info. So I was like, okay.
Yay! That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. I love it. How does it feel to be the person you are right now?
It feels free and easy and fun.
Yay!
Yeah. I'm definitely living so much of my future life right now. It's wonderful. Like sometimes when I script, I'm like, oh, this is like what I'm doing.
I was thinking about that earlier when you were talking about the kids. I'm like, it feels like she might wake up a lot of time or like have very similar mornings and things like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which is so fun. And something I don't think even when that job came up, we didn't even see in that moment how that would give you some future self experience.
Yeah, no, I fully expected that the quote unquote future self experience I would get from this job would launch me to a different job or like a different theater thing. And the fact that like my future self is more ingrained with this job and this family and this house, it's just such a fun, amazing, sweet surprise.
Yay.
Yeah.
I love it. And it feels like you didn't set it up, your future self set it up. Like it was set up like perfectly for you. Like both to get a future self experience and to go through this time right now. Like someone was telling me they listened to your interview the other day, like, oh my gosh, like what if she was still working in a restaurant? Like her future self just took care of her. Like she has this amazing job. She hasn't even skipped a beat. Like money in the bank.
And that's true. Money in lots of banks. I'm like,
yeah, I love that. Oh, I love it. What's the best part about just life right now? Other than Boomer.
I know. He's so cute, a big fat hippo head. Yeah. The best part is that I created this.
Yay! Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. And yeah. I love it.
Thinking about like all the things I can buy, like, you know, that I have money for.
Yes.
But that I'm like, oh, I don't feel like buying it, you know, like I'm looking at my like wine rack right now and I was thinking about alcohol and like how in the past I had very specific feelings and thoughts around buying things like that for myself or for a party or something. I mean, I'm not having parties now, but like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I can, if I want to buy a nice bottle of tequila, I can buy a nice bottle of tequila.
And you also don't have to. I think the magic is both that you're in that spot where you can buy it and you don't have to, you don't feel like you have to get rid of the money. So you have to go buy it.
Right.
Yes.
That's the biggest change that I feel. I still have those bubbles sometimes. And then when they happen, it's sort of its own reminder that that's not the life I live anymore.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Do you have anything else you want to share? Words of wisdom? Anything else on your heart that you feel like, I got to share it?
I don't know. I love life.
That's the most amazing thing.
I know.
I love life. So, okay, then I have a final wrap up. So you mentioned, you know, like it's taken 2 years, which is very short, I think. And so when you signed up, I don't want to ask the question. Like if someone told you it was going to take you 2 years to get to this moment, would you have thought that was a long time or a short time back then?
I would have thought that was such a short time that I wouldn't have believed it.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know what your answer was going to be. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. That's even sweeter.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, tell everyone where they could follow your fabulous life if they want to on Instagram.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for inspiration to come up with a really witty boomer pitbull,
Yes.
Instagram name. But until then, wait, it'll be amazing when I come up with it. But my handle is at Vicki Not Vicki, VICKINOTVICKY on Instagram. That's the best place to see all the shenanigans I get up to.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing this amazing moment with us.
Thank you for having me and for guiding me along the way. It's invaluable. I love it.
Yay. So my pleasure. These are my favorite moments where we get to talk about all the awesome. So yay. Thank you. Thank you all for listening and joining us for this interview. Make sure to come back and check out what else is awesome in Vicki's life next time. The telling of stories is so powerful, both to the person telling it and the person receiving it. Since 30,000 BC, we as humans have told stories to teach and guide. And now we, with Manifesting Success Stories, hope to inspire you to what is possible in your own life. If you want more manifesting success, go to moremanifestingsuccess.com, where you'll find links to anything we've talked about on the show. Thank you for joining us today, and remember, you have the power to write your own happy ever after.